Stand by to initiate release sequencer. On my mark. 5.
We're on express elevator to hell. Going down.
2. 1. Come on.
Let's rock!
Welcome back to the Resupply with me, guy next door.
And me, Than.
Bringing you your DK-less double tap of all things Space Marines and Laserforce. Hello, everyone. Nice to see you. Welcome to the show. No DK again. Yeah, cracked me up, actually, Tucker, when you put that in the chat, because I was like, oh, you're about to find out how very correct you are. Hey, Than. How you doing, bro? Nice to see you. Good?
Good to see you too, bro. It's been a week. It's been a not great week, but I'm now on vacation.
Choo choo.
So I've got a week of not having to deal with work, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And getting paid for it, which is even better. But yeah, no, this week has been just and mostly for stuff outside of work, just a bunch of just car stuff that I'm dealing with that kind of came to a head today with getting told, oh yeah, the catalytic converter in your car, which you replaced just before you left Texas.
Somebody's pulling your chain, mate.
Nah, yeah, but something I had done in the car just before I left Texas. The part is already failing like 17,000 miles later, but apparently this part only has like a 12-month, 12,000 mile warranty on it.
That's how they get your money.
Well, and so the service department at the dealership that I go to was like, oh yeah, we'll put this up to the manufacturer. You know, we can see that this car has been nowhere but dealerships for its servicing. Like, we have your complete service history. Car is well taken care of. This is not that long ago. Yeah, we'll put this in, and I'm sure that they're going to come back and say, yeah, we'll just take care of it. Nope.
Yeah, nope. Well, sure, they'll just, out of the kindness of their hearts, just do it for free.
Well, given the bad publicity that said manufacturer, it's Hyundai, has had for the last like 12 plus months, like this would have been like an easy win in terms of like, having somebody that owns one of their vehicles still want to buy another one, because I've been like, okay, the next like 12 to 24 months, yeah, I'm going to be buying a car, just because this one is, it's getting up there in terms of miles driven and whatnot. But so no, they came back with a most efficient fuck you, and so now the service guy I'm working with is like, well, let me see if what we can do at like a dealership level, because it's like $3,000 for the thing in terms of
for a Cadillac conversion.
Between part and labor and everything, which it's like again just blows another fucking hole in my savings and it completely just kind of fucks me for various travel next year.
Yeah,
and by
sucks.
Various travel I mean overseas travel, by which of course I mean fucking gnats. So I'm just like, yeah. So that was how my day kind of ended today, was dealing with that. So
you know what you need to do, right? You need to take up pipe making as a hobby. It'll make you feel awesome. You sit there, you whittle, you listen to the Lord of the Rings audio books. I've heard it works wonders. I haven't tried it, but
oh yeah, no, this isn't your current hyperfixation at all whatsoever. Nope, not you.
Yeah, craziness. That sucks, dude. It really does. Speaking of like overseas travel, Air New Zealand had a sale this week, like a thing they called their Lolly Scramble. It was yesterday.
Yep.
And they had like $900 return flights to LA, and like, I was like, dude, that's so rad. Unfortunately, didn't work out timing wise for any particular laser tag events, which was a shame. But I was like, oh, maybe East Coast. but alas, this guy is not coming to East Coast, which is a shame. That's all right.
That would have been a hell of a thing though if you just like sauntered in.
Yeah,
like
I guess.
like you just showed up. Yeah, it's like, yeah, hey, but of course I'm here. Did you think I wouldn't be? I only flew from literally halfway across the world, and
Yeah.
Here I am.
You must be the ghost of GND's pasts. Yeah, either that or you ate guy next door. One of the two. Two, thank you very much for the sub. Nice to see you in chat. Hopefully you guys in chat are doing well. Hopefully everyone's had a good bloody couple of weeks or good week or whatever, however long it's been. Feels like it's been forever.
We have actually been on a pretty good roll lately of doing shows weekly.
Yeah,
and
I think we got another one.
We're gonna do a show next week.
Oh my god,
so
it's crazy.
But then
we're
gonna break your streak because you're traveling.
Well, yes, although you could do the G&D list version of the show. We should figure out the resupply light, or I don't know. We'll figure out a name for you guys. I'll figure one out. It'll be hilarious, probably. You get to see Baden in 2 weeks. Were you going to see Baden?
No, he's coming out here for a thing. So he and I get to hang out a little bit.
You guys should try and go play tag at that Portland side again.
That is actually on the agenda.
Awesome.
We're actually gonna try and get both of the sites that are here, and I think there's a new one down in Salem, which is like an hour south.
Is that like that's not Salem? No, that's not Salem, right?
No, Salem is
like
in
Boston,
Massachusetts.
Right? Yeah. Salem, Mass. Yeah. Famous for hot dogs.
Sure. Lucy, I sound like I'm opening a door. No, that's just my joints creaking because I'm old.
Yours creak, mine scream in agony.
Yeah. They actually crackle, like going up and down my stairs. Like I can literally hear my right knee just crackling the entire time. I'm like, that's probably not what it should be doing, but
it's like rolling an office chair over a sheet of bubble wrap.
Actually, yeah, that is a pretty good description of what my knee sounds like going up and down stairs, which is not good since I live in a place that has stairs and my living, my bedroom, my kitchen and everything are on the second floor of my place, so I'm constantly having to go up and down stairs.
And the neighbors are like, shut that up. Hey, little bit, how the heck are you? Nice to see you. I feel like it's been a long time since we chatted. And apologies for your omissions from today's podcast, because we were just saying should have just got the two of you, not to bury the lead, but yeah, we got guests hanging out in the wing. We'll get to him in a minute. This week, real quick. So 2 things. 1, if you haven't already seen !Tivia in chat, our friend Tivia, who is the master of all things laser tag heritage. There's got to be a better title. That's the one that I've thought up.
I was gonna just say she is the queen of all things laser tag.
There we go. Point. That's the one.
She just is.
Yeah, it's queen.
Because she's awesome. So yeah.
Well, you're good. All right. just yell shit in the background. Stop lying! Why you lie? Why you didn't tell me that? Yeah. So Tivia put out a new podcast this week. If you haven't already followed her channel, go check out her website because it's awesome. But also go follow her on YouTube. We should probably have a link to that as well. But whatever. But she had some guests this week talking about competitive SM5. I haven't actually listened to the pod yet because I think it was today it launched.
Yeah, literally like
an hour
midnight.
ago.
But no, like 24 hours ago is when it when it dropped. So,
darkness crackling seems appropriate. So, you think you would have taken over the interview? Nah, You just look. It's not too late. You could still do that. Get out of the chair. Yeah. So yeah, Tivia launched a new podcast today. Than was a guest. Alongside who else was on the show?
So it was me, Caleb / Slaughtermelon, and Bolton / Rookwood.
Yeah.
Rookwood. So it was a good show. It was basically a kind of a quick SM5 overview for people who may not have played SM5 before, which is a decent amount of people. And so it was kind of cool having what essentially amounted to the person who's been doing this for a super long time, me obviously, the person who's been doing it a medium amount of time, Caleb, and then the person who is still relatively new to it all in Rockwood. So you kind of got so you're kind of able to get kind of three differing perspectives on the game and how certain things go and how you kind of perceive the game at different points within your gameplay development cycle, as it were. So yeah, no, it was a good time. Tivia, unlike us, is extraordinarily professional, and actually has prepared questions and things and nicely kind of moves the conversation along, which is great.
Yeah, we're just stumbling through the darkness at this point.
That is, I mean, it had to be fair. 214 episodes of this, it served us well.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Change the formula. Well, yeah. If you don't already follow her, go follow her on YouTube. Her content is legit awesome. Like, it's really, really good. If you are into laser tag, not just Laserforce, but laser tag as a whole, go check out her stuff because it's brilliant. One thing that I would very much like to do is show that pod, but also some of the other stuff that's been created in the past around like new players getting into Space Marines, to some of the new Aucklanders, because we played members night on Tuesday, and we had like 16 players there, and it's like, there's been a few weeks in a row where we've had people who have been away, but we've had the numbers to still play. That's always
such a nice feeling when people can take a couple weeks off because travel, real life, whatever.
New babies.
But you've still got enough people. You're not always dependent on, oh my god, these 12 people always have to show up, and if anybody's gone, we don't get to do a thing.
Yeah.
No, you guys got this pool of like 20, 24 people. So if you got a few people that are out on a given week, people are just there, and
so a new couple of kids have started playing, and I'm pretty sure one of them bought a girl that he's just started dating, a girl that he knows. These kids are they must be like 15 maybe, and her dad came along and chaperoned. It was adorable, dude.
I mean, honestly, as a whatever date idea for that's
highly
honestly
competitive laser tag.
Well, okay, it's cool, but it also very quickly is going to give you what does that person do in certain scenarios, and do you want to be around that person? In this type of scenario.
And she
there are worse things.
So considering she'd never played before, or at least I think she'd played maybe once with the public, maybe, but she came play with us, and actually did pretty good. Wasn't timid. That's the big thing. I always expect new players when they come in to be a little bit timid, and she wasn't. She would rush in, she would attack, and it was great. So we got this a good pool of young players coming through and eager to play, to the point where, and this is something that we'll talk about in the next coming month or so, topic that I want to get into is when is a good time to to look to branching out to like a second night during the week if your site allows for it, where you just play Space Marines and you run that as an invite only and blah blah blah. And we'll get into that conversation like a different time, but it's a question that I've been pondering and have actually talked to some of this newer crew about what their interest levels are like. And they actually asked me, "Oh, hey, how long would you say you would have had to play for before you're considered a vet?" And I was like, "Oh shit."
Here we go.
Which I think maybe that's another good topic for another time. I'll make a note of it somewhere so we can remember. One of your first laser visits was church night at Oakley Sidetrack. That was actually a date. Eee, boyfriends.
Church night.
I was gonna make a joke, but thankfully I caught myself.
That's very unlike you.
Yeah, normally just not that one. All right. On that note, let's bring in. You had a girl on Wednesday night. Wait, you had a girl. We'd ask how. Fuck. Can you do that one?
Stop. We had a girl on Wednesday night ask how long I thought it would take her to get good. And I laughed and said at least 2 to 3 years. And that was Tucker in chat.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome, because I could see your brain just kind of malfunctioning in real time as you were trying to read that. I'm like,
where's my whittling stick?
That's not like him. Normally, he's pretty good about the whole teleprompter thing.
I blame Tucker for poor grammar. Let's bring our guest in, shall we? Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show, all the way from the East Coast of the United States of America, which is from where I am, very far away. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our friend Evol. Hey, Evol.
Hey, guys.
What's going on, bro? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, man. Good. We're just, out here selling our brand of foolishness.
Bullshit.
Yeah. So you are, for those who don't know you, you are situated where?
In Syracuse.
And how long have you played for?
I'm coming up on 13 years now, or maybe just a little more than 13.
Goodness me. Wait, so, and, because I always remember that, like, with COVID, you lose, 3 years, essentially, of play. Man, that's still a long-ass time.
Yeah.
You got cheering squad in chat, by the way. Can you see the chat?
No, I don't have it up.
You're on your phone, right? I was gonna say I don't think you'll be able to see it. Yeah. Oh, we'll tell you when people are being nice.
Right. Shout out to all my dogs in the crib.
So yeah, you've been playing a long ass time. Who did you try and date when you first started? No. How did you get involved in at Laser Tag when you first started?
We used to come like every weekend, and then Pat, I don't think you guys know him. He was introducing a lot of special games, and then he was like, "Hey, you guys want to try SM5?" And then I used to come with a crew of like 6 people, and we would stomp on the public. We thought we were cool. And then we played Beans and them guys, and they showed us what was up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like how it's phrased like it's almost like a drug dealer trying to push drugs on people. Hey, you guys want to try some SM5? You're like, what's that? Oh, it'll rock your world, man.
The first taste is free.
Yeah. Yeah.
They got me hooked.
Baden reckons he said, I taught Evo everything he knows. That guy's alright, eh? He's fine.
He's okay.
Yeah. Right, so you got in stomping the public and then went to a members night and they were like, hold my beer.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
And so since then, how many competitions have you played since then?
I think like 10.
Yeah,
I think. Like between like all the East Coast and a few Nats.
What Nats have you gone to? Obviously, you went this year.
Yeah, this year, 2019.
In
Detroit.
Detroit.
Yeah, Detroit. All the Syracuse ones, or whatever.
Yep.
And then, Detroit again in 2013, which was my first Nats. But
right on. Yeah. Did you ever play Sacramento?
No, actually, Loveland was my first West Coast tournament.
Oh yeah. At what 20?
This one that just
The
happened.
past one.
Oh shit.
Yeah. It
That's
took me a long time to travel west.
Well, that's very unlike the East Coast players to not travel to tournaments. That's strange. You and Evol started at the same time a little bit. Did you guys knew each other before tag though? No.
Yeah. We started dating a couple of months before. She introduced me to tag.
Oh, so she like, hey, you want to come to tag? It's this sweet new date spot.
Pretty much.
Dude, that's so funny. I can't believe that that's something that happened this week, and then now we're talking about it. Fuck, that's funny. That's rad though. So you guys, how do you find like playing with your partner? Like, because people do it, but
yeah, it's fun. I love it.
You guys don't like.
I was actually hoping. Sorry. No. Not all the time.
Yeah.
I was about to say, it does seem like at times if you're playing tag with your partner, especially if you're doing it at any sort of competitive sort of way, it does seem like a thing that would be kind of rife for the occasional, shall we say, misunderstanding.
I felt that so we had a long time player, his name's Sneak. He was I was on his team in 2000 when did we go to Ballarat? 2008.
2008, yeah.
And him and his wife were both on that side, and I felt that they actually did really, really well together. Like, didn't go the way of like getting into punch ups like I have seen like partners get into after something goes wrong. It's pretty trippy. It's fun, random, but fun. Right on. So we'll switch to like Nats this year. Obviously your first time playing in Loveland. How did you find the maze?
Really fast. Really fast.
Like faster than yours?
Yes.
Really?
I feel like it's just nonstop action the whole time.
Yeah. Is that, you think it's because they're all younger?
I think it's just like a little bit smaller.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just everything is so open. So like, you just got to keep your head on a swivel there, and just.
Well, you guys have like I found like Syracuse's maze to be real similar to ours in some ways, where the walls are really tall, so you don't have to. Everything's linear, right? Everything's out in front of you, so people are just always going to be on that same plane. And whenever you switch to playing in like a multi-story arena, adding that third element of getting shot from like above or whatever. How did you find that? I really struggled with that at first. How did you find it?
Yeah, it's kind of the same. Like at first, I was like, but and I just watched like everybody else and see what they were doing and try to use what I learned from Detroit too to try to hope to step my game up. But all in all, I thought by the end of the tournament, I adapted pretty well.
Yeah, and so did you play mostly Scout?
Yes.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, that man, it's so hard to like. I don't know that when you get to play like a 3-hit, if you're coming from like a linear maze to like a multi-level maze, at least being a 3-hit gives you a little bit of a buffer. Like, if someone shoots you, you go turn and shoot them back. But man, like making that jump to a single hit in that arena is got to be difficult.
Yeah. A little bit.
How was your team? How'd you find playing with kind of the legends? I mean, that team was pretty sweet on paper, especially. Like some of the names, all of the names from your team was legendary.
Yeah.
How'd you find them? Old?
It was fun. Old. Yeah. No, it's definitely fun playing with Wookie again. He kind of like took me under his wing in my first couple of years. I played a lot of Resupply with him, and I don't know, it kind of felt like old times. Really.
It's gotta be nice to like, I don't know. I'm trying to do something similar for next year, trying to gather like, these legends from my site to reunite after 10 years.
Only 10?
Only 10. Wait, I've done the math poorly at 15 years. 15 years to get back together and, try and do something special. So, yeah, it's kind of rad because Wookie and Fox both don't really play anymore. Is that right?
Yeah, that's true.
And then obviously, old Cripple Arms himself. Son of a gun. Yeah. What did you have any highlights from this year?
No, not really.
No. Yeah, it was fine.
It's like, no, I was just on the second floor getting shot a lot. That sucked.
Out here trying to play scout. Not even IHOP. I can't believe you wouldn't say IHOP was a highlight. I heard that, guy on IHOP was fucking boss.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right on. Alright, so get together with these old boys, getting to play Nats. Man, I'm so jealous. So what's next for you guys?
Definitely doing East Coast.
Yeah.
And
I know that's coming up in January, so you don't have too many more months before you get to see a whole bunch of faces that you saw in Loveland again, as far as that goes. Not me. I'm unfortunately not going to make the trip, and especially not now with the extra car expenses. But I'm actually super, not necessarily super jealous, because quite honestly, upstate New York in the beginning of January, or middle of January, doesn't necessarily sound like the smartest thing from a weather perspective. I don't know with how much snow you guys get there, but I am 100% looking forward to hearing the stories, watching whatever streaming gets set up, because I know that at least the scoreboard will be streaming, and just being able to be jealous of everybody playing, because I'll be here on the West Coast going, I should have gone and I should have played, because I know that's what's going to happen. I'm 100% gonna FOMO that like when it happens.
Of course. Like, why wouldn't you get FOMO? Like we get every single time we don't go to a tournament, dude. It's So I was saying, I talking about it before we went live about the airfares, or did I say?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like before yesterday, our local airline had like a specials or sales or whatever. Their lolly scrambles sale, as they were calling it. So they like put out a bunch of like cheap flights throughout the day, and I didn't see any for the East Coast, but I'm assuming that they did pop up at some point. But they were like $900 return flights to LA, Japan, Honolulu, I think. It was just like, oh my gosh, like you imagine like getting even $1,200 to the East Coast from here, like. What's that in US dollars?
That's about $900.
It's crazy. Return like from here to the East Coast would be nuts. Although the prospect of flying to like Chicago in the middle of winter, I don't know about that.
That's also a really long flight too.
Yeah.
That's like a 16-hour flight from.
We did that one. We did that one when we came over for Detroit in 2019. I always forget the years, man. But that flight, like, so like I met Traj and his partner at the airport when they flew from Brisbane or Auckland, because they did that full leg, and so yeah, their transit was like 20 something hours or something. Fuck. But then to fly, you know, you get to O'Hare, and then you, like, we were supposed to get onto more flights to go to, I was supposed to meet Beans. Beans was driving through Cleveland, and, God, thanks, Windows Security, go away. We were supposed to go to Cleveland, and they were going to pick me up on the way through, to go to Cedar Point, and, you know, what I didn't realize was, that the Midwest bloody storms that roll through there and just cancel everything that flies out over here. So, yeah, cool. I got to go to Toledo. Cool.
So Evil. So you said you didn't really have any highlights from this year's Nats. What about from previous tournaments? Anything that you've done / had happen in previous tournaments that's like, yeah, that was super cool.
Yeah, back in 2019 when we were in Detroit, and we took like that mid-tournament break at that
the bar,
whatever that restaurant that we went to. Yeah, the bar.
Yeah.
That was probably like my favorite. Like, just watching Black Hammer do all those splits was hilarious.
That dude
you're gonna have to expand on that a little bit. What? I don't think I've ever heard this story.
No? Oh my god, yeah. I don't know who started it. I think someone told him he wouldn't do a split. And after that, he just started dropping them like every 20 minutes, just randomly.
All I recall, because I went to hospital later that night, actually, allegedly. And I just recall, like, he has the biggest... For a short dude, he's got the biggest feet I've ever seen. He's like got like Hobbit sized feet. They're fucking huge. I remember that bar was such a like dive bar as well. It was like real sketchy. Do you remember name escapes me right now, but the Ace, bussing the tables.
Oh yeah, helping out the waitresses and stuff.
That's so good, dude. That sort of shit, though, like, I think that's the most important stuff you can do at a tournament, right? Is like hang out and do that sort of stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Love
Definitely. Team shots.
Yeah. A lot that we encourage. The consumption of excess alcohol on the Resupply Podcast.
At least not since Christmas shows a couple of years ago.
Yeah, we put a blanket ban on online drinking. Little bit said, I kind of told him there was this cool place to hang out and we didn't have kids yet, so I was like, come play this laser tag game with me, and from that day we never looked back. That's adorable. So, go ahead, Dan.
So, Evil, didn't you and Little Bit get tattoos commemorating that at those most recent Nats?
Yeah.
What?
Let's see how I can get this.
Oh, dude, that's
it's upside
awesome.
Down. Yeah. I got the commander symbol, she got the medic symbol, and that was the year that we got together and we both started playing competitive. Well, not really competitively, but.
What? So why those symbols?
Well, commander's my favorite position and medic's hers.
Right. Dude, that's so freaking adorable.
Mhm.
Yeah, I remember you guys showing those off at whatever the fuck the entertainment place that we went to
IHOP.
after. No, not. I didn't see it at IHOP. I saw it when we went to oh fuck
Main event.
maybe thank you, because I was like it was something else and it changed the name and I can't remember either fucking name right now because yeah, and I remember you guys just like look what we did today, or it was like, okay, like on a on a list of things that is like, yep, you are true diehard players. When you get when you're getting when you're getting Space Marine stuff tattooed on your body, that's like, yep, you are committed, or should be committed, or both.
Can we see a little bit?
Hey, they want to see your tattoo.
What about the highlight of you throwing up in Nats?
Oh, dude, that's so rad.
Oh, cool.
Oh my god, that's so cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm kind of blurry.
No, I
Doesn't matter.
Do you remember?
shut up really nice.
Yeah.
You
I
remember
don't know. I
when
need Chinese food.
we used to like before Gen 8, we had the barcode. Obviously the barcode membership cards.
Yeah.
I always wanted to get my Space Marines barcodes tattooed on me so that I could just log in like that. And I'm so glad that I didn't do that, because
Yeah,
we
that-
moved away from the barcode scanner.
Not only that, but there's just some implications around having numbers tattooed on your body that I just don't think
true.
you
I didn't
want.
even
I just don't think you want,
Yeah.
as far as that goes.
Guys, look at
let's
this.
Avoid that.
That's right. Yeah, so the highlight of you throwing up. Was that at this Nats? Were you one of the people to? Yeah. So what happened?
We played Loveland A, and I played Commander,
Mm.
and they made me do a lot of running,
As they
and
do.
my stomach couldn't keep up with it. So after the match, I was like, I'm gonna have to sit the next one out, guys. I just threw up in the bathroom.
Okay, so you at least waited to leave the arena.
Yeah.
Oh, poor Snowflake. Was he the only one to puke in the arena?
Yes, Snowflake was the only one to puke in the arena. He was the only one to cause a biohazard in the arena.
That's the
He wasn't the only
altitude.
He wasn't the only
thing.
person to get hurt in the arena. That was me, as well. But yeah, altitude sickness and dehydration and everything else. Like, it's like, people, if you're not normally at this altitude, you need to drink like twice as much water as you think you do.
Yeah.
Like, this is just a thing that needs to happen,
Yeah.
or else you're gonna have a bad time.
You still got us? I think Evol's mic's died on him.
Yeah, Evil looks like he's having a bad time. Or does headphones? I think. You there, Evil?
I'm sorry. I think I might have lost some audio with you guys.
That's cool. That's cool. We were just
That's cool.
yeah, lamenting throwing up in the laser tag arena.
Well,
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, did. That's right. We'll get there.
It's fine. Although Steve, one thing that I will say, so while we did have people, throwing up in the maze and, getting lightheaded and, altitude sickness, this, that, and the other, I don't recall anybody else having to do the cans of oxygen. So, so you still have that as, your own personal claim to fame as far as needing to have us purchase oxygen for you at the local Walmart so you could, not die.
That's just the hefty gentleman thing. Like, I don't know, that I like the tanks. It made life a little easier after, running around at altitude. Just, oh yeah, feel good. I can't believe nobody got any cans of O2. That's terrible planning. Right. So you guys got to play a members night, extended members night thing, I guess, recently. Anything fun from that particular night? Like, what were the highlights from that night?
Just being able to play tag, honestly.
Dude.
Like, we don't really get to do that too much here anymore. And luckily enough, like, Stu and Baden will come out. So
I thought you guys had like a couple of like younger players that hadn't kind of traveled. Is that?
yeah, we do.
But still not enough to kind of do like a regular members night?
Yeah, because some of the older guys have, like adult stuff that they have going on in life. So
Sex
like
parties.
it's even getting a little harder for me too, because like school nights, with the kids.
Yeah, true. See, as
Yeah.
a not a parent, I forget that these things are a thing. Yeah. It's easier for us normies and just go out on a school night.
Mhm.
But I would imagine like the kids aren't too far away from coming to join you at members nights, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. I took my kids this past weekend, and my older son Mason was actually dropping like 8K in public, like doing free for all and stuff. And I'm like, hey, that's pretty good for it being kind of like his first time in a way.
Yeah. Just gotta
How old's your oldest?
10.
He's 10? Okay. Oh, yeah. So he is starting to get right to about that age where you can be like, and now, son, we will introduce you to more things.
We're a Space Marines
Yep.
household, okay?
Yep.
Yeah. Hold still. We're going to give you your tattoo, and then you're going to be initiated. That's got to be cool, though, Matt. Like, we see it, we've seen it a few times. Again, Sneak, who I mentioned earlier, his son now comes and plays with us on the semi-regular. That's got to be a really cool feeling when you love a thing. Like, we have this, some might say, unhealthy obsession with with this kids game. But when you have kids and can share it with them, that must be rad and kind of surreal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, especially if they then get like good enough to beat you. In which case, like, what do? Do you ground them?
Maybe.
Yeah.
You better not mess up my 5 chain.
Yeah, enjoy being grounded all for the next month.
Yeah,
You
right.
jerk.
Oh
that's
God,
yeah.
I can just see that happening in a couple of years. Your kid's playing Resupply. You start dropping nukes. He doesn't realize that you've dropped a nuke and he resupplies you out of it. Oh God.
Yep.
That's so funny.
I have a brother that has been playing for, God, I think coming up on like 8 years, I think.
Really?
And like I get that like proud parent feeling in a way, because he's good.
Yeah.
He's fast. I just wish he would do tournaments. I don't know why he doesn't, but hopefully I can start getting him into it.
Dude, that's awesome.
I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, he's got this great opportunity with this East Coast coming up. It's like it's local. It doesn't have to travel for it. Just like, come on, join the dark side. We have cookies.
Hopefully, I'll definitely have to push him.
Yeah. It's the good way to get them involved in things. Is he like younger brother?
He's like 10 years younger than me, so he's like 23.
Yeah, right. So that makes
He's
sense. That proud parent kind of vibe, right? Because that kind of age gap significant with siblings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That'd
Definitely.
be really fucking sweet though. Because then you're well on your way to forming like a full family Space Marines team.
And then you can challenge the Forsyths out of Utah and we could have literally have a Forsyth team and an Evil team. And,
Yeah, you could.
Mhm.
I'm almost there. I mean, I have a cousin Nate that plays, but he doesn't really do tournaments either. And I'm pretty sure you guys heard of Assassin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Little Bit's brother.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
I didn't
we
realize
kind
that.
of have. Yeah.
Well, I would say I was saying it kind of as a joke, but no, you could actually do a New York Disney team versus a Utah Forsyth team and have it be at least an interesting game.
Yeah, that would be fun. We should try it out.
Assassin came to Detroit, right?
Yeah, he's been there.
Yeah, that must have been when I met him. Must have been that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in that tournament. Yeah, I think that actually was his last tournament, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah, right on. The old man Al into the chat. Yeah, they're too busy playing disc golf. You know, I don't know if his sons want to play tag. We'll see. Do you guys play disc golf? Has disc golf made it into your household yet? Get amongst, man. Flex that arm.
I mean, last week you guys had me looking at some disc and like how to play the game.
Really?
It looks fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe.
Get among, dude. So like, Baden was saying like he was out throwing discs with Stu recently and getting amongst. That's quite a good one. Like to get into from what I hear with your kids. Like, you know, you get outside, you go and do. I don't know if you guys are like an outdoorsy kind of family, but yeah, like taking them outside and making them throw plastic around the forest. It's sweet. Making them. Your newbie did pretty well one tournament. Who was your what's a newbie? A little bit. You're gonna have to clarify that for me. So
Sure.
next year, obviously East Coast coming up. Have you guys entertained the possibility of heading to Nats?
Yes. Yeah. Probably we'll have more of a definite answer, I think, by February.
Yeah. Man, that'd be epic. Have you guys haven't traveled down this way before?
You know.
Yeah, wasn't loving like one of the first times you guys had gotten on a plane or something. I seem to remember a little bit saying something about it was like one of the first times she had flown was that trip. I could be misremembering because, you know, lots of different conversations at lots of different times, but and old, that is also accurate. But I seem to remember that being a comment that like it was one of the first times like you guys had flown somewhere. So yeah,
that was her first time, my second time ever flying.
Got it. Okay. So I wasn't totally misremembering the story as far as that goes. Yeah, I mean that'd be a hell of a thing for your, you know, second and third flights to be from Syracuse to Brisbane. Like it's a lot of time in the air no matter which way you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the best way to break that into chunks? Like what, stop in like Honolulu?
From the East Coast, like you've got you can either, you know, go backwards across the country and it basically end up being like New York probably to either LA or San Francisco and then the Brisbane hop. And I think if you go Asia route, it, you know, takes you. There's a couple of different ways you can do it through Asia. Yeah, it's like you go from like New York to like Dubai.
Oh yeah.
And then down. But either way, I mean that's literally it's like 24 hours of flying no matter which way you go because of where you are at that moment. So, not trying to scare you off from doing it or anything, Evol. I'm just letting you know if you guys do it, it's a fuck lot of time in the air, but it's so worth it.
Yeah. I mean, Sydney's not too far from the site, right?
Sydney is pretty far.
Yeah, it's like you'd have to fly down. It's a couple of hours flight, like 2-hour flight.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, okay.
yeah. So like you
Yeah.
couldn't drive it. Like you could drive it, but it's like a
You
day.
need time.
Yeah. It's like
Yeah.
Oh.
So Australia is deceptively big. And like, yeah, it just that's like the best way that I can put it. It's like it's deceptively big because there's so much of the country where there's nothing, and like everything is just kind of like, for the most part, just kind of around the coastal edges, and you think, oh, that's not too bad. I should be able to, get from point A to point B. But then if you actually like put it into Google Maps, just put Brisbane to Sydney in
I've
Google
just
Maps
done it.
and look at the distance.
It's only like 10-hour
No.
drive.
Oh.
It's
Only
like a 900 kilometers, which is what, 600
about 600 miles. About
Yeah.
600 miles, which is still longer than necessarily you want to do in one hit. I mean, it's
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Syracuse to New York City in traffic.
but worse.
So, that's the last time, by the way. So when we were in 2019, we drove from Detroit and then through Niagara to Syracuse, and we had asked Beans, what's the drive time like from Syracuse to New York, and he's like, oh, it's like 4 hours. I was like, oh, sweet, that's easy. No, no, 7 hours later. Oh god, it's fucking awful.
Yep.
And like not a whole. I mean, there's some cool stuff like driving through. I just remember like a lot of like pine trees or like a lot of forestry that you drive through. But yeah, it certainly wasn't 4 hours like that guy said.
Yeah.
What a liar.
Maybe it's 4 hours the way he drives and with no traffic, but
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
once you get in like close to New York City is when that's when it gets crazy, right?
Yeah. To be fair, we got there's like a, I don't know, section along the river maybe. You go past like a bunch of gas stations, and then right after that, like traffic sets in, and you went like an hour to go over whatever bridge that was. I don't know. It was all just a hazy traffic dream. It was awful.
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, how many different sites have you played?
3.
What's your favorite?
Well, ours.
Yeah. Is it the ground? It's the ground, isn't it?
The ground.
Like running on the fluffiest cloud ever.
I mean that pretty much is the universal thing about Syracuse as a site. Like everybody who plays there, it doesn't matter what system or what, it's like everybody steps in the arena and goes,
Lights go boom.
ooh, this is very comfortable. We like this. So,
Oh yeah. My feet weren't hurting the first day we came back and played tag after compared to being in Colorado.
Like it's like nowhere else. It makes me angry that no one else has put floor on like the Syracuse floor. Because I think if we had that floor in every maze that we played in, then most of us wouldn't be crippled, or those of us who have been running on these hard ass concrete floors for the last 2 decades. Maybe our knees wouldn't sound like gravel rolling around inside a rubbish bin. Yeah, it's awful.
or maybe they would, because getting old sucks.
Yeah, maybe. To go back to Nats, what's the draw for Sydney?
Well, when I was looking up flights, it was like $500 cheaper, like per ticket.
really?
So I was like, oh, and then, but I didn't bother to look to see how far it was. And when you said it was 10 hours, I was like, yeah, I'll pay the extra.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
yeah,
you could
there's
get
a
a. Sorry, Dan. Go ahead.
I think both of us were about to go on the same thing. Yeah, you could then get a domestic flight kick up from there, but in Sydney that involves a whole terminal change as well, and this, that, and the other. So yeah, you're probably better off paying the little bit extra and just getting the flight directly into Brisbane, or an itinerary that takes you directly into Brisbane, so that you're not trying to string itineraries together.
Mhm.
Sydney is where? Well, so as a sports guy, which I know you are, I think during that time of year is rugby and rugby league season. Are you familiar with either of those sports?
A little bit. Not a lot though. Like I couldn't tell you anything.
I reckon going to like a rugby league game in Australia, like because we were thinking about doing it here last year when people came down, but doing rugby league in Australia, or even Aussie rules in Australia. Aussie rules is the most bonkers shit that you can watch. It's if they call it aerial ping pong, because it's basically a bunch of Australians running around just punching each other in the back of the head, and none of them wearing pads or anything. They're just in a shorts and singlet.
The couple of times that I've watched that, it's definitely been like, what is this chaos? I have no idea what the fuck I'm watching, but it looks like
it's awesome.
It looks fun, but what the fuck? I have no idea what the fuck is happening.
Hot potato ball, too, has put it. But yeah, like that should be on the to-do list. Is go to like rugby league, especially like if you're in, because we'll be in Brisbane. Brisbane is more into rugby league and rugby union than most other ball sports, but that's a good one to go and watch live because the game's only 2 hours and it's non-stop for the whole time. So yeah, we'll go and we'll watch some dudes beat the shit out of each other. It'd be awesome.
And a little bit was just asking in chat, is there a green card we have to get or anything like that before we gear up to come? So no, there's not there's not a green card. I mean, obviously you need to have your passports. I mean, let's call that out as the big big immediate thing, that if you don't have your passport and you're planning to come to nationals, get your goddamn passport. Yeah, get it sooner rather than later. But as an American citizen, you basically just have to get an electronic travel visa, and there's a website to do that on, which I don't remember off the top of my head, and it's like $30 or $35, and when you you basically attach electronic visa to your passport, and when you scan in when you get to Australia, they go, sweet, you're allowed to be in the country, and
they go, oh, yeah, no, they don't say choice. That's my country.
Yeah, I was about to say.
They say street.
So yes, there are definitely there are definitely some travel planning things that yes, you absolutely must do if you're an American who is planning to go to Australia, and really if you're anybody not from Australia who's planning to go to Australia, unless you're a Kiwi, in which case nobody cares. Welcome,
cat.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So yes, you have things that you need to do, but they're not hard. It's not like super esoteric. You have to do 35 different things to be able to get into the country. Nah, you just got to do. Yeah, you have to do a quiz. No, passport, electronic travel visa attached to passport, done.
Yeah, they get real funny about seeds in Australia. Don't bring seeds. That they'll be mean to you. Bloody mean Australians. Man, that'd be awesome to see you guys come down to Nats next year. Like especially, I guess at this point, like, teams are kind of up in the air. But like, if you had it your way, who would you play with on a team? Like, yeah, from the States.
I definitely want to play with like Baden Scythe. I've always played against them.
Yeah. Don't we all? Is it? Yeah. So obviously those two, which by the way, like to me makes sense. Like if you had, I'll pose the question this way: if you had the opportunity to put together like a team made up of East Coast players, and obviously we don't want to like omit anyone, on purpose. But aside from those two, who would you want to play with?
Definitely play with like Beans and Cody. Stu, definitely. Trying to think of anybody else that would be going that I haven't played with yet.
See a fist fly out from the side of the screen. What about me, you jerk?
Well, I was kind of hoping that this East Coast tournament was gonna be like make your own teams, because I wanted to, run a team a little bit again and try to get my brother and Cody and try to run like one of our old Nats. I think 2016 it was.
Mm-hmm.
Like we had a team going there, which the level of experience on that team was like C, but we were playing at like a B team, like level.
That's
it was good.
Feels so good, man.
It definitely was.
Yeah. I mean, it's not out of like, I mean, East Coast is supposed to be full random, right? Like, maybe a little bit difficult to do that, but I mean, just just get all those people to come down to Brisbane. Just put that team together for Brisbane. That's the way to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But by the way, we're going to Brisbane.
Yeah.
Where?
By the way, we've won the lotto. We're buying everybody's plane tickets. Let's go.
Well, maybe if I hit my ladders,
Yeah. Yeah, you start getting you come into some prize money. You start getting some knocks on the door. But I heard you want to play. Heard you want to play some tag.
Yeah.
Those are epic players though. Like even like one or two of those players coming down and being on a team with them. Like I loved the teams. Obviously, like Baden's been playing a long time, and somehow has managed to turn himself into the world's player. Like he's a player with no geo restrictions. Apparently, he represent any site that he wants to. So I was lucky enough to play with him in Sacramento in 2016. I want to say 12.
No, it was 2012.
Jesus
That's
Christ.
2012, bro.
It was 2012 because I think that was the first proper trip to the States. Obviously 2010 doesn't count.
Yeah, that doesn't count because you were sick for most of it. Yeah, no, but no, 2012 was you, me, DK, Baden, Pint Size, and Feek.
That's right. It was a fun team full of all sorts of language barriers.
All sorts of accent barriers. Yeah,
yeah.
There were some moments. That's for sure.
Time traveling. Can't remember where he was. Exactly right. But yeah. So, and like you haven't played with him at a Nats yet, right?
Yeah, no, not even like during random draws or anything.
Really?
Yeah.
It's always nice having someone really good on your team. Then they can just go and be really good, and you don't have to. You could just be okay.
Yeah, exactly.
You can just get carried. Yeah,
it's the best.
It's the story of your life, Steve-O.
Yeah, getting carried to victories. That's why I'm glad that Scythe was my co-host on the Nats podcast this year, because you
just got carried to glory.
Yeah. I say a lot of things, but he says a lot of quality things, and that's the difference. Yeah. Well, dude, I hope that Nats. Here we go. Little Bit's ideal team. She's gonna tell us who our ideal team is. In the interim, I hope that it becomes a reality. I hope that you guys are able to make something happen for this year. It'll be obviously really cool to see you in person again. But more importantly, like I don't know, you get to like come and play tag with quality people, and then like if you guys came out, I assume that you would stick around for a couple of weeks. Like that would be kind of the way to go.
I wish, but with us playing East Coast, we only got like 2 weeks off of work.
Oh, shit.
So Yeah.
Yeah. Damn, bloody Americans get no leave.
No. No.
Yeah. Every time I start like trying to I start plotting, time that I want to take off, I realize like how lucky I am with how much time I get versus a lot of other people. So it's like, so even when stuff is not quite lining up the way that I want to, it's like I'm just gonna shut the fuck up and figure stuff out. So little bits. Ideal team is her, Evil, Blackhammer, Lenny, Zerg, and Assassin.
Zerg's your brother?
A lot of speed. Zerg is my brother, yeah.
Right on. You said Beans is...
That's a lot of speed.
She said Beans is her 7th as well. Good 7th. That's bloody good 7th. Like cripple Beans? I assume cripple Beans. That's a sweet spot. Yeah, man. Yeah, so me and my wife, we did a trip to the States, and we went to, one of the things we did, I think I told the story before, but one of the things we did was, went to a timeshare meeting in Vegas, because I was real curious to see, like, what kind of shenanigans they would try and do, because...
So many.
Yeah, it was brilliant. It was so much fun.
So many.
But they, we were sitting in the room and people were like, their whole thing was, we don't get enough leave. Like, this is a great way to maximize the amount of like vacation time you get, because some people, they get 5 days a year or something, if that. And they're like, who here's traveled? And we put our hand up. They're like, oh, how long has your trip been? And we were like, this is like the 5th week of a 6-week vacation, and everyone in the room is just like, what the fuck? Like, yeah. We live in that sweet life down here on the other side of the world. Cripple beans. But yeah, hopefully it works out, dude. Like, I hope we get to see you next year, because yeah, it'd be kind of fun. Come out and do some sports shit, some Australian stuff, and make that 30-hour transit time kind of worthwhile. Bloody
definitely looking forward to it.
Yeah, man. Right, Than, did you have any last questions?
No, I think we're pretty good at the moment.
Evol, do you have anything else you wanted to, any shout outs you want to give?
No, I'm good.
Perfect. All right. Next week we've got a show. We're doing a podcast with another guest. And I might even just put Evol's name back in the title and really fuck you guys up. So
yeah. Next week we've got Rockwood from St. George.
Yeah.
So we can continue our streak of milking Nat's content. Literally, 2+ months after the.
We ain't out here milking our guests. If you were doing a completely hypothetical team, it would be you, Evol, Bane, and Scythe, Hammer, and Beans, and Lenny. Just take all the players, why don't you? But yeah, so we'll try and do some more midweek streams. I know I harped on it last week. We talked about it in Thunderdome this week. I haven't really been doing too much during the week. Things are bonkers at the moment, but we'll see what we can do. And then we're on break the following week, because I'm going to go play some disc golf, competing in another Cuzzies tournament. Battle of the Cuzzies. Nice. It's going to be good. But for this week, this one right here, I've been Guy Next Door.
I've been Than.
I've been Evil.
Always remember to backtrack, kids. We will see you next week. Ka kite anō. I've been throwing daggers
places I wanna